Have you ever considered the role of sedatives in police encounters? It's a question that's been gaining traction in recent years as concerns rise over the safety and ethics of this practice. Sedatives, like midazolam, are administered by paramedics during intense encounters with police, but this approach is stirring controversy. Questions about potential misuse, consent, and the very real risks involved are being raised. Is this treatment, or is it a dangerous intervention? This is not just a hypothetical scenario, it's a reality that has led to tragic outcomes. The first known case of sedative use in police encounters dates back to 2012. On a cool night, an individual found themselves in a heated exchange with law enforcement. As the situation escalated, paramedics arrived and administered a sedative known as midazolam to the individual. This was a turning point, marking the first known utilization of sedatives in police encounters. The aftermath was devastating. The individual, who had been in a state of heightened agitation, succumbed to the effects of the sedative and restraint tactics. The incident sparked a wave of controversy and concern, but it also set a precedent. Despite the inherent risks and lack of consent, sedatives began to be used more frequently in similar situations. This first case served as a disturbing blueprint for encounters to come, where law enforcement and medical professionals would turn to sedatives as a tool for control. This was just the beginning of a troubling trend. In the decade that followed, at least 16 people died in California after being injected with sedatives during encounters with police. A chilling revelation that unfolded through a comprehensive investigation by the Associated Press. The victims, a diverse group of individuals, all shared the same tragic fate. Their lives abruptly ended following encounters with the police where sedatives were administered. Among the substances used was midazolam, a potent sedative. This drug, while effective in calming hyperactive states, can prove fatal when improperly used, especially when combined with certain police restraint tactics. The controversial application of this sedative during these encounters has raised several eyebrows and ignited debates about its safety and ethical considerations. Interestingly, about half of the victims were Black, a statistic that throws light on the racial disparities that persist in our society, even in life-and-death situations. The circumstances surrounding their encounters varied, but the common thread was the lethal cocktail of sedation and restraint. Adding to the controversy was the use of these sedatives to treat what some refer to as excited delirium, a term disavowed by medical groups and criticized for its ambiguity and potential misuse. This diagnosis, often used to justify the administration of sedatives during police encounters, became so contentious that California became the first state to ban it as a valid medical diagnosis in 2023. These deaths are not just statistics. They represent lives cut short, families devastated, and communities left questioning the very institutions designed to protect them. The controversy surrounding these cases is not just about the use of sedatives or police tactics. At its core, it's a question of consent, of respect for human rights, and of accountability. These cases have sparked outrage and demands for change. This is not just about statistics, it's about lives cut short and a system that needs to be held accountable. We're talking about real people, individuals with families and dreams who were tragically lost. And we're talking about a system that allowed this to happen not once, but at least 16 times over the course of a decade. This is a call to action. We need to demand accountability from those responsible for these practices. It's not enough to just be aware of the issue. We need to take action. We need to question, to challenge, and to demand better. Public awareness is vital in demanding justice and reform. Each one of us holds the power to effect change, to make our streets safer and our system more accountable. By voicing our concerns, by standing up against injustices, we can spark the change we desperately need. We must remember those who have lost their lives and fight for a future where such tragedies are a thing of the past. The power to change the narrative lies within us. It lies in our ability to question, to learn, and to demand a better, more just system. It's time for us to raise our voices and demand accountability for these tragic losses. Together, we can push for the change we need to see.